Oh, praise Jesus. It's good to come your way once again. My name is Cletus Bassi. I am excited that God is giving us this privilege and opportunity that we can come together and to begin to share the good news of our Lord Jesus Christ. I'm coming on the platform of Lead Impact University. You know, for a while now, I've been taking time to talk about the pastors and to give the necessary, channel or information that can help us to build our skillfulness in the area of pastoral ministry, and also to learn the scriptures differently, and to be able to challenge the world that we are living in, especially the generation that we are in, to be able to catch up with the time that we are in as pastors. This is a different century entirely, and things are changing. We pastors must have to rise to the challenge before we lose generations that are ahead of us. So, especially for those of us who have reached a certain age and you are now remembering when you used to be, that time. I recall the other time I came to the studio, and then we needed to kind of, not make it too loud, because of other things that are going on within the environment. And I said, well, when I used to be a young man, that would be difficult for me to keep quiet or to go slow. Because as a young man, you have so much energy and you want to, release it. But now, I think with age, there's a different approach to it. I mentioned the other time that I used to play soccer when I was in my youthful days. I used to play soccer, and I love to always go back to playing from time to time. So I was with my boys, and we were playing it. And suddenly, one of those days, my first son just came home, and so was with us. We were playing, and then I don't know what happened. I think I was going to cross somehow, and I slipped and I fell down. He looked at me, but he didn't say anything. We continued playing. And after we had gone back into the house, he said to me, "Daddy, I wouldn't let you play that again. I don't want to see you hurt. And if you want to play, you go look for your age mates and play with them. Because for us young people, we have the energy that you don't have." Well, sometimes you don't want to believe that you've reached a certain point that as a pastor, as a leader, as a father, you need to begin to pay attention to what is going on with you. And today, I'm still continuing on Burnt Out. Now, Lead Impact University believes in holistic training, that it is not just about your mind in terms of what you are putting into your mind, but your heart, your spirit also. Then your physical body. It is important that you consider yourself, put it back in proper perspective. How am I? How do I feel? Can I still run the way I used to? How much of product can I carry per time? You need to begin to take a look at it and then ask yourself questions that will help you to answer properly. Do you have people that can do certain things you used to do when you were younger? Do you have those that you can assign and relax? For us pastors, we think that if we do not do the things by ourselves, the things will not be gotten done. It would not be gotten done. It would not be the best. No, you have to trust your people. You have to raise the young people, raise men and women that can walk into your shoes and help you to understand what it takes to, get the momentum going without losing it. But you see, where there is a burnout in a person's life, there are certain things you will not be able to do anymore. Your joy, your enthusiasm, it's no more there. Somehow, you're struggling to keep it going. But I trust the Lord that if we pay attention to these things, it will help us. I found in Genesis chapter 2, and I'm going to read verses 1, 2, and 3. It says, "Thus the heavens and the earth and all the hosts of them were finished." Verse number 2. Now look at what happened. "And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his works that he had done. Verse number 3. Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. In sanctification, therefore, it means that he separated it, because in it he rested from all his work which God had created and made. Praise God. Now, the issue is, if God could rest, who are you that you wouldn't rest? Because for you, you think you must have to do it all the time. You must have to be here, be there, and be everywhere. No. We as leaders and as pastors, I don't know whether you are a CEO of a company or you are doing something in a leadership position as a manager, whatever leadership position that you're finding yourself, or even as a father or as a mother, and you keep working and working and working and working, no time to rest, you are burning yourself out. You are burning yourself on the altar of work. You need to take out time. God rested. That means a time came, he ceased from doing the work. He would now look back and see the creation beginning to run itself. And that is also some other thing that many leaders are not careful to think about, their exit plans. They have no plan for exit. Man, you will be exiting one day. You will always be here. Jesus exited. By the time that Jesus reached a certain point and a certain time, and after he had resurrected from the dead, he gave them 40 more days and walked with them and showed them things, and then he left the scene. I still remember reading the book of, I think Sanders was something like that. It was a missionary out of Sanders, out of Canada. And he painted a picture of a missionary that is being sent to an outstation and what was expected of him. And so when Jesus, he painted a picture when Jesus got back to heaven, and right there angels came and they were all saluting him. They were so happy that he was back to his place, back to his throne after 33 years of human calendar, and so that he's back into the heavens. And so one angel stepped out and said to him, Jesus, you've done a great job back there on earth realm. Now you are back here. How do you think that all the suffering, your death, all of that the work that you've left behind will still be going on, and you are back here in the heavens? Are you making plans to go back there now, or very soon, or to go back and still be with them? Jesus turned, looked at him. He said, look down. When you look down, he said, who are you seeing? He saw Peter, he saw Matthew, he saw Bartholomew, he saw all those saints of God, those, apostles. He said to them, they are there. And they are going to carry on that which I have left them with. For I have assigned them to carry on the responsibility of making sure that the gospel continues, the work of the ministry continues. And the angel looked at him and said to him, what if they fail? And Jesus said, well, there's nothing I can do about that if they should, but I am too sure they will not, because I'm going to ask the Father to send them the Holy Spirit, who will be with them all the time. You see, Jesus has gone back, and his trust that the work of the ministry will continue is the people that he raised, those men that he raised. And they continued in the apostles' doctrines, in fellowship, and in breaking of bread from house to house, and praying for one another, and the ministry continued. Friends, we must have to adopt Jesus' principles of rest. God himself rested after creation. After you've done that conference, after you've done that seminar, after you've done the weekend service, you got to find that time to go rest. Otherwise, you'll just be burning yourself out completely, and there'll be nothing left for you, your family, your grandchildren. Don't you want to live and see your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren? I always admire, one of the fathers that I've come to fully appreciate and love. I happen to serve on their board of governors. I'm talking about Bishop Bill Hamon in Florida. Bishop Bill Hamon is just turned 80, I think 89, 88 or 89, just last week. And if you see his family, great-grandchildren to the fourth and almost the fifth generation, and he is here to see them grow up. And the man is still preaching the gospel. It's just now that they've asked him to stop traveling to distant places because he came to Nigeria. I hosted him a few years ago. I mean, Bishop Bill Hamon of the CI. And you could go there and you see that there is hope for this ministry because he has people that are already there. So if he should close his eyes in and then transit from here, he has already seen that the work is going on. Men and women of God, we need to begin to believe in people. Trust in people you have raised, you have trained, you have been breathing your life into them, sharing the vision with them, giving them the opportunity to grow in the faith. And I want to challenge you again. Burnt out is not the best thing. How do I avoid it? Jesus was speaking, and let's go to the book of Mark, because I want to show you what Jesus said to the disciples. It is very, very important and pertinent that we go to the book of Mark, chapter number 6. You find what Jesus said. Jesus said, and Jesus said to them, and he said to them, this was Jesus speaking to his disciples, come aside by yourselves to a deserted place. That's isolate yourself from the people and rest a while. There is need to rest a while, God's people. There is need for you to rest a while. I got a report on my health, thing from my phone, where for the past how many days, he said, this is how your heart was behaving. Showed you your heart performance over 14 days or whatever number of days it had kept it, so you could see your heart race. And then your heart rate, and they will tell you if this is good for you or something is not going well. You have to take notice of what is going on with you. There are some days you don't need to see people. You don't need church folks. You don't need visitors. You just need yourself for yourself. Take yourself out. Pamper yourself. Speak to yourself. Take yourself for a massage. Take yourself to maybe if you are in Texas, in Houston, go to Galveston. Go there, see the ocean, see people, go to places. Just take yourself out. Because burnt out is a bad news when it comes, because the stress level would have gone so high. Many men of God have died not because God was calling them home. No, they worked themselves to death. And God said, well, the spirit cannot walk anymore if the body is weak. And so you are ready to come home. Then come. You see, but was that the time to go home? We need to begin to look at ourselves. When you look at your life, look at the picture of yourself. Is your picture, is you as a person. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking, is you. Now, you could think, what kind of English is that? Is you yourself. When you look at your age and your look, does it show your actual age, or you are looking older than your age because of stress? Yeah, look at it. You will discover that you are looking older than your age. You could see some of your age mates. You wouldn't love to tell them you are their age mate because you are looking older. You're looking like a grandfather or a great-grandfather, and you don't even have a child yet, or none of your children has any child yet. So what does that mean? It shows that you are burning out. Jesus said to them, he said, go to a place and rest a while. There's need to rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they did not even have time to eat. Does that reflect who you are? They did not even have time. The disciples did not even have time to eat because of so much that was going on and how many people were coming to them. So they didn't even have time to rest. So Jesus said, you didn't have time to eat. You didn't have time to drink water. See, you have become so dehydrated because you have no water inside of you. So Jesus said, go take some time. Take time out. Rest a while. Rest a while could be 1 month. Rest a while could be 2 months. Rest a while could be 1 week. Rest a while could be 1 day every week. You know, when I was in the Bible college, some years, that was 1987, 88, here in the U.S., I was a student in Minnesota. I was studying there in Minnesota under the great prophetess Judy Edison. Judy Edison, you know, along the line, I think she became Judy Sharon or something, you know. But I got to understand that the things within the setting was different, and I was, you know, coming in from Nigeria I was 25, turning 26. I was very young, and I was, you know, I was a student, and I was still also teaching in the Bible college there. And I could tell you the great difference, the way things were organized, that at a certain time in the office, everybody must have to go and eat. We close for 1 hour. From 12 to 1, offices are not open, no phone calls are picked. All of us will be on the same table. All of us, we are all eating together. The offices are closed. Even if you are calling us, we're not answering you because that's our own timeout. And then we had other times of going out. I learned ministry differently. And I could see how these people have lived longer, because you see, they understand, because they had to factor rest into what they are doing. Rest a while. It did not say rest forever. It said rest a while. Can you put the while into context? He said because many were coming and going, and the disciples didn't even have time to eat. Many of us don't have time to eat. To avoid burnt out, make sure that you eat well. Eat right. Rest. Take out time. And sometimes you need to find some form of a therapeutic services. Go for therapy. Man of God, CEO, leader, pastor. You need somebody to talk to you and to begin to look at how you are feeling about what is going on around you, whereby you can begin to have develop coping strategies or mechanisms. Begin to understand how to cope with the pressure and how life is becoming very tough and difficult. It will never go less. In fact, it will increase. So somebody sent me a message, you know, from our church in Nigeria, and said to me how life has become very difficult and tough and all of that. I said to the person, we need to pray that we rise to the challenge, because it may never come down. We have to learn to rise to the challenge. And if we were not prepared for this moment, we can be swallowed up. The enemy can bring you to the place where you are like wondering, what is going on with my life? A few months ago, that was during the elections in Nigeria, and before the elections, they changed the currency, the money in the place. So they now said, if you don't have this new money, you can no more exchange or buy things and all of that. Real grown-up men, out of the stress, went into the banking hall and stripped themselves naked. Women stripped themselves naked. Why? Because you see, insanity is a thin line from being sane. Being sane and becoming insane is not a far thing. Because when you have a mental problem, you won't even care about what is happening around you. Who is there, who is not there. You could be so ashamed of yourself by the time they play back some of the things you did when you had a mental problem. So mental health services should be sorted. You need to seek help. You need to have some form of counseling or therapy, because these services are available. Call helplines. We have those that have been blessed by God to have gone through, a great season of training, and they have also gone through things that can help you come after you are burnt out. It is important. And we must also begin to provide resources for self-care. As pastors, churches must understand that there is need for them to take care of their pastors. Some people don't care about their pastors. They don't even know pastors exist. And I'm speaking to you today in case you're a member of a church. Have you ever taken time to ask your pastor, how are you doing? Have you ever looked at him and said, Pastor, maybe you need rest. My family can take care of it for you. We need to get pastors to understand that there's need for them to have self-care. It is necessary, because when you neglect your own self-care, your own personal needs, you are exposing yourself to everything that's running out there. So I'm encouraging the pastors that if you have to come off the challenge of you dying before your time, or being bedridden, or being left by your children in some home care services that nobody comes to see you on the visiting day. Oh Jesus, that is not something you ever want to be. Your elders won't come. Your members won't come. Jesus said many were coming and going. That's how church is. They keep coming and going. They keep coming and going. They don't stay. Most especially if you have a challenge. They don't. They could come 1 or 2 days, and after that they have their own problems. They have their own homes to take care of. They have their children's fees to pay. They have issues that they must have to take care of. That is why a pastor should not lose his, connect with himself and his family. Many don't even have time, family time, no time to have fun with your wife or play around with your children or your grandkids. Sometimes you need to get a ticket and fly to where your children are. Visit your children. Rest. Take your wife. Go on a road trip. Visit some states you've never been before. Get money early enough to kind of go on a cruise. Oh geez, can I tell you about that? When we went on a cruise for the first time with my wife, oh my goodness. The thing is that I couldn't sleep. Don't tell my wife I said this. I couldn't sleep in the night. My wife would be sleeping and snoring. I couldn't. Why couldn't I? I didn't understand how the whole thing was going up and down, up and down. I was really like, geez, are we safe? But we were safe because, when you have never taken out time to go out and enjoy yourself, everything is scary to you. I was so scared, people. But I saw food. I saw food till I was scared of food. But it was fun because we went to many nations, and then we would go out, walk around, see those nations, look at things and all of that. And we came back, and I was really like courting my wife anew. Courtship, where you are like, knew something, new love language, new things that you've not done for a long time. Taking the food, putting in her mouth, and letting her feel that girl again. Now, come on, Pastor. You need to sometimes, let her dress just for you. When you go to church, you can dress for the church. But when you are home and you are out on vacation, let her dress for you. That kind of dressing? Come on now. You need to go and get her some new, night wears. Come on, guy. Tell her, be the girl. Pastor, come off these religious things. You all the time, you're like, oh my God. You're gonna die very soon and leave that beautiful wife of yours. So come alive. So make her have fun. Come on, people. Eat what you love. Try to have a support group that you belong to. Pastor, don't be an island. Look for a support group that you can always go to. Maybe they meet once a month or once every quarter or whatever time that they are meeting. Go there. I have a good friend, some friends of mine, crazy guys. When we meet, the kind of things those guys will be talking, we'll be laughing and falling on each other. I've missed them because I've not been in their team for a while now. But I could tell you those are the kind of people that you need. People that, a support group that will be there for you, and they will be creating some kind of fun within yourselves and people of your own age group. It's wonderful. Try and find that out and see where to go to. It will help you. And take out sabbatical time, what I call sabbatical time off. 1 full year is not out of place. Ministry is not going to collapse. Man, come on. Go to some other countries, and then, especially we have churches. If you have churches, book yourself to different places, but that will help you to just do ministry outside of that. Take sabbatical, write a book. Write something, do something. Come on, people. So now, when you are doing that, you discover that you are going to avoid being burnt out by the demands. Everybody calling you for prayer, everybody looking for you to help them, everybody's looking for you to prophesy, everybody's looking for you to fast with them. There is time for that. There's also time to get off the saddle. Jesus said to them, go take some rest. Rest a while, because you've not even had time to eat. Make sure you eat well. Make time you rest. Stay inside the bathtub. Make sure you go in the soak yourself and put on good music and enjoy your tea. When you come out, man, you look different. Try and take care of this body. That is the only place the Holy Spirit dwells in. It's the temple of the living God. Dress it well. Look fine. Polish your skin if necessary. Take off the wrinkles where possible. Come on, live their life. Thank you very much for joining me. Next time, don't forget, we are having our World Bible Conference. Is taking off this coming week. Please join with us from the 10th of August through the 13th. Please be there with us. God bless you. Enjoy your time. God bless you. Shalom. Shalom.
Ready? World Bible Conference 2023 Wobicon is here. A place to hear God's voice and get plugged into His will, purpose, and direction for your next level. Theme: Grace for Impact. Venue: 906 Avenue A, Katy, Texas 77493, USA. Date: 10th of August to 13th of August 2023. The conference speakers are Archbishop Joseph Alexander, Archbishop Cletus and Bishop Blessing Bassi, Bishop Timothy Johnson, Pastor Adejumoke Adetunji Elisha, Prophetess Lisa Cooper, Reverend Dr. Edwin Bayebo, Dr. Ken Katas, Pastor Owusu Michelle. Music ministers are Pastor Erina I, Josiah Cletus Bassi, and Fogmont, Texas, USA. Over 2,000 people in the past years, plus 50 speakers in the past years. One message of hope. Get ready for an outpouring. World Bible Conference Wobicon is brought to you by Destiny International Missions, Katy, Texas, a member of New Covenant Global Ministries, Center for Teaching and Practice of Christocracy, in collaboration with Lead Impact University, Denver, Colorado, USA. Get ready for an outpouring. Visit us www.leadimpactuniversity.com and destinymissions.org. See you there. You will be glad you did.